Blind Limey, you are live on Talk Heathen. What's up?
Hello there, lady and gentle spoon. I just thought I'd call in with my thoughts on divorce because I've been through. And as a person whose entry and stay in this country was predicated on my marriage, and that I believe it is almost entirely arbitrary, it seems these days. Now, I wasn't doing a Richard Gere. I wasn't coming in just to get a green card. I very much loved my ex-wife at the time. Truly.
Hold on, Blind Limey. You're telling me that you weren't born in America? I'm just kidding. That'd be funny if I was like really serious about it. But
my dad was, not me. Anyway, but the thing is that we had to go through all these hoops. I had to get all these visas and shit, and we had to get married when we came in. It was a very simple ceremony. It wasn't even a ceremony. We went to a courthouse in Williamson County, Texas. We wore jeans and matching T-shirts, and the thing is that it was so very arbitrary. It seemed it was just legal motions we had to go through, and the spirit of the marriage, quote unquote, really was just our efforts to want to be together. And then when it all fell apart at the end, she divorced me before my paperwork was complete to stay, and that absolutely wigged me out completely. I was stressed for almost a year, expecting the sword of Damocles to fall. They go, "Oh, you're not married anymore. Get the fuck out of the country." But no. They went, "Yeah, no, this happens all the time. You know, seems like you're in it on good faith." And my evidence was good, but it wasn't amazing. It was some photos and some, evidence we'd gone on holiday together and a copy of our shared lease. That was about it, really. And
oh, you had to wait. I didn't know this was a part of the process. You literally had to share vacation photos and stuff.
You have to compile a dossier of proof to show that your marriage is legitimate. Yeah.
Wow.
The best.
That's invasive. I don't want to show President Biden pictures of me and my honey on vacation. I would say, go away, Mr. Biden.
When this was, Blind Limey?
So the timeline of events very quickly is first met online, my to-be wife in 2010, courted up until 2015. She proposed to me. 2016, I moved to Texas. We got married in April 1st, actually. So what would have been my 8th wedding anniversary was just passed. And then you apply for a green card, and it's limited to 2 years, predicated on your marriage. And then you apply to have that restriction lifted, and then they give it to you for 10 years. Now, it took the USCIS, the immigration people, nearly 2 years to process my paperwork. And by that time, the marriage had completely fallen apart. I had been cuckolded. That's another story. And she divorced me and moved out. And so I spent 7 months in 2020 utterly stressed because I thought I'd go to this appointment that I was supposed to attend with my wife alone in San Antonio, and they would kick me out of the country. But they didn't. They went, "Well, yeah, you had your pay stubs were going into her bank account, and you had a lease together, and here are some photos of you on holiday, and this all seems legitimate. Here's your 10-year green card." It took 10 minutes. 7 months of stress for 10 minutes.
So I went through something very... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
So to my point, it seems like such an arbitrary set of legal loopholes has very little to do with the actual spirit of two people joining together as one unit.
Yeah, absolutely. I went through, my husband's Australian, so we went through something very similar recently. And it's for a long time, he had to go to Canada every 2 years to go to a consulate so they could renew his visa there. And then they would have to send it back because he was on a work visa. And it's kind of all these like really specific things, even though at that time we were already married. And there's so much legal stuff around it that it does, I completely agree, feel very arbitrary. I was like pregnant. We put in our dossier like the first ultrasound pictures because we still hadn't gotten the green card yet. But anyway, it was. Yeah, we also had the vacation photos in which I grow progressively fatter. So I was like, see, we've been together a while. Time has passed.
Oh my God. So. I don't like that. I don't like that you have to show your whole. I mean, I get the rationale, right? But like, I don't think it should be a big deal in the first place. Listen, this is outside the politics of the show. I shouldn't get into. I'm an open borders kind of guy, to be honest. I'm more into that side of the camp. I don't think you should have to demonstrate that you're really like an American so you get to live here. Like that to me just doesn't compute. I don't think that's a good reason to be like, oh, I get, yeah, this American likes you a lot. I guess that means you can live in our country now. Like that doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. But anyway, I'm glad you're here still, Blind Lammy. I'm glad they didn't kick you back over the pond, you know. Who knows what could have happened to you in the savage lands of England. I mean, my goodness, anything is possible, you know.
Sad apocalypse, probably. But then there's the other end. There's the other end of the spectrum, and I am also an example of this because there's certain denominations that hold up marriage, the ceremony of marriage, the institution of marriage, is this like unassailable, sanctified thing. Catholics, very specifically, but because religion, especially in this country, is treated with such kid gloves, you can basically marry on very little credentials. I am an ordained minister. I don't believe in any God, but I'm a Unitarian minister. I filled out a form. It was free online. So I can legally marry people in the state of Texas. That's how sanctified this vaunted establishment of marriage is. They'll even let a chud like me do it.
So wait, should we call you Reverend Blind Lammy now?
Yeah, Reverend Blind Lammy.
Yeah, no. You can call me father, just call me daddy. But anyway, but this is the thing. So I put a challenge out to all the theists out there and all the people who feel that marriage is special and sacred and wonderful because of some external ordainment rather than intrinsic togetherness. Prove that there's something more to it than just arbitrary bollocks. Because Dan and his missus, I think, are going to be together forever, not because of marriage or because of legality or because of God or because of any other bollocks from the outside. It's just because they are wanting to be together, and that's how it should be. And there's no external crap that's going to affect that, in my opinion. But who am I to say? I'm a divorcee.
Sometimes divorcees know the best.
True. Thank you for the kind words, Blind Lammy. Gosh, that'd be really awkward if we end up not working out. But I think you're right. I think we're good. But no, yeah, I agree with everything you said. You know, one of the funniest things too is, yeah, go ahead. Well, sorry, I missed that. What was that?
Beautiful relationship.
Oh, thank you.
Beautiful relationship, baby. Knock it off with all them negative waves.
No, that whenever when gay marriage was finally legal for everybody in the US, that was a counter argument that people were talking about when that was still an issue was, well, it'll devalue marriage if the gays can do it. Basically was the argument, right? Like marriage is supposed to be this super magic institution that only straight people can have, and if the gays do it, well, it's not as special anymore. Which is like, to your point, like you could just marry anybody whenever. It doesn't really matter.
Also, child marriage is still largely legal. You know,
that's also true. That's
like if it's that special and we need to keep it special, then let's just all agree to keep it above 18. Like, you know, it's like, 14-year-olds can get married with parental consent. It's fine. I'm like, you know what would devalue my marriage is watching a middle schooler get married right next to me. Like, I don't know.
True. Yeah.
Well, I've said my piece. Marriage ain't special as an institution. Marriage ain't ordained by God. The union of two people is special, but you don't have to go through a bunch of loopholes to make it so. And that's the last I'll say on that.
I just spent a couple days full on in training for marriage therapy, very specifically. So my brain is very in that right now. Couples therapy specifically, not marriage therapy, so could apply anywhere. And so much, I feel like, of the biblical advice for relationships is sort of contraindicated for actually having a loving and lasting relationship. The notion of submission on the part of one party is absolutely not helpful. The idea that there needs to be a leader, full stop, is, again, absolutely not helpful, even amongst couples who are religious. Like, it's about perspective taking and taking your share of conflict and things like that, which are, I feel like, is often not what is actually preached. Sorry, I just hit my table. And so, yeah, it's interesting to think about it as this sacred thing, when the past 2 days I've been steeped in like kind of the science of it. Like, here are the ways that we can interact that have been shown to be successful versus less successful, and how do you recover from those things? There's a science to it, just like anything.
Here's another thing too. A lot of people say, and I'll go ahead and let you go first. Thank you, Blind Line. We really appreciate you calling in. I will keep you on the phone forever. But
America and Texas is better with you in it.
Yes,
so.
I endorse that. Thank you so much, Blind Labby. Yeah, what I was going to add too is just, oh gosh, what was I about to say? Well, I forgot. Oh no, okay. So as an atheist, right? People, first of all, make the very wrong assumption and say, well, isn't marriage a Christian institution? Why do you want to take part in marriage? Yeah, as if people weren't getting married before Christianity or Judaism was a thing. But the fact that I don't believe there's an afterlife, or the fact that I could do whatever I want with my life, I could be as promiscuous as I want to, or have as many long-term relationships with people and not get married as I want to, but I am still choosing to get married because I love this person and I want to be with this person. If anything, that should make the marriage like even better, because I feel like I have to, because a religion says, well, this is how you should responsibly pursue a relationship. Now, granted, actually there's very good evidence, a lot of points in the Bible where Paul specifically says people shouldn't get married at all, which no Christian ever follows outside of monks, I guess. But outside of that, for everyone else, I do get married, and not to contain my lusts or whatever, as like Paul puts it, but no, because I do love this person, and I do want to be with them, and I can do that. If anything, again, I think it makes the marriage, I don't know, even more important.